First off, if you have any questions or comments at any point during the presentation, you may submit your questions in writing using the questions box on your webinar tool. Simply enter your question and our moderator will respond. All questions are logged, so if we don't have an answer or we don't get to your question, we will email you after the presentation. By default, all attendees are in listen mode only. If you wish to verbally ask a question, we will take questions at the end of the presentation. To ask a question, you must either call in via the conference number provided, or you must have a headset with your microphone connected to your computer. To call in, select Telephone on your webinar toolbar and follow the prompts to enter your access code and PIN. If you don't enter the PIN, we will not hear you. Finally, the webinar will be recorded and made available online. A link will be posted on the CMS website. The MTP conference scheduling module allows a user to search for an existing conference, add a conference, modify an existing conference, delete an existing conference, and print out a conference report. In order to access the conference scheduling module, you would move your cursor over the CCS modules and select Conference Scheduling down the second to the bottom menu option. In order to search for a conference, you can do it by many different ways. But for this example, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to search for a conference by county. So what you do is you click on your down arrow key, you scroll down to the county you would like to search by, click on it, and the county should display in the field, and then you would click on your search button. Before you add a conference, you always want to search to make sure that the conference doesn't already exist. As you can see in this example, there are already 2 conferences scheduled in Alameda County. So if you wanted to see additional details regarding one of these conferences that are scheduled, all you would have to do is click on the conference number. As you can see in the search results, it tells you a little bit more so that you can identify which conference you wanted to view or modify. You can see by a unique conference number that's assigned to every single conference that gets scheduled, by the MTU, by the conference type, the conference date, and the physician. You have the ability to delete a conference as well, and we'll cover that in a little bit. To select a conference to view more details about it, all you need to do is click on the conference number. It's highlighted for you to be able to click on. As you can see, you've come to the Add Client Details screen. At the top of the details screen allows you to make sure you are in the right conference and identify what conference you're going to add to or modify. It tells you the MTU name, it tells you the physician, it gives you the type of conference that this is scheduled for, the date of the conference number, that's the unique number, and site details. This field is used in order to provide more details about the conference. For example, if you needed to have special equipment or chairs or tables, or you needed more details about the conference itself, the conference site, you can put information there. It's a free text field. Down below, Add Details allows you to select your client to add to the conference. And I will go into more detail in a moment once we add a conference. To get back to see the original select or search for conference screen, you click on the back button. Okay. So now that you're back at the conference scheduling, and let's just say, for this example, you do not find the conference that you want to schedule, you can add a new conference. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and add a new conference. I'm going to select the MTU, and as you can see, the MTUs that are selectable are only associated to that county. So I'm going to select the MTU. The physician table comes from the provider master file, and I'm going to go ahead and select a provider from the provider master file. I can either select a provider by clicking on the Find button here, or I can hit Enter. By hitting Enter or clicking on the Find brings up the full table of the provider master file. The next option to enter, and this is a required field, the MTU is a required field, and the county is a required field. The conference type also is a required field. I'm going to go ahead and select conference type. This is the site details I was telling you about. And it's free text, so you can enter anything you would need in there. The conference due is when is it scheduled for. And then the conference number is not editable. It is a number that is automatically assigned when you're adding a conference. So I can see down below that this conference is not already scheduled, but I'm going to go ahead and click on Search again just to make sure. And it's saying no conference is found. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on Add Conference down below. There's a button down below to add the conference. And as you can see up above, my new conference has been added. My MTU shows, my provider shows the date, the one table required is in the site details, the conference type, and the conference number. Now all I need to do is add the clients to my conference. I can add clients to a conference by two different ways. Either if I know the CCS number, I can key the CCS number and click on Find, and I can pull it right up and select the client, or I can enter the patient's last name. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my client, and I'm going to select my client, and then I'm going to enter a conference time, and then I'm going to enter the reason for the visit. If I wanted to add comments, I could add free text comments down below, and all I have to do is click on Add, and it automatically adds this person to this conference scheduled on May 1st. As you can see down below, it has a hyperlink here at the CCS number. That allows you to click on the patient and modify the information associated to the client. But I'm going to go through these fields first, and then we'll go ahead and modify it. So what it shows you is a unique, or it shows you the CCS number, shows you the patient's name, it shows you the date of birth, shows you the primary diagnosis, shows you the conference time, the reason for follow-up, and any comments. It says that there's comments, so if you click, let's go ahead and modify this client. If you click on the CCS number, it brings it back up for you to modify it. So for example, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just change the time. And I'm going to go ahead and change the reason for visit, and I'm going to go ahead and save the information, and it automatically saves the conference time, and it saves the annual, change the reason for visit to annual. If I wanted to print this specific conference, all I would have to do is click on the print button here, and it automatically gives me a printout of all of the clients that are scheduled for this conference. Now, this is not going to be the only report that will be available for conference scheduling. We are going to be creating 2 more reports. One that you can pull up by specific client that shows all the conferences scheduled for that client. And then there's going to be, we're going to enhance this report to provide more information as well. This is requested by the users, and we are going to incorporate them in, but it is going to be after we go live, so be patient with us. We are definitely taking suggestions, but they may not be done immediately. We're working on them. We have to create the reports and such. So to close your report, all you have to do is close by X selecting it. And that is the conclusion of conference scheduling. I'm going to go ahead and click the back button and show you the back button. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how that conference has been scheduled. And down below, you can see that that conference has been scheduled with that provider, and it has the ability to delete it. Now, if you click on this delete button, it deletes all of the clients that are associated to this conference. In this case, I'm going to show you how the delete button works on this conference right here. All I have to do is move my cursor over the top of the delete button, click delete. It prompts me, are you sure you want to delete this conference? We'll remove all associated clients. Select OK, and then the conference is gone. At this point, we don't have the ability to modify the details associated with the conference, but we do have that as an enhancement for later so that you have the ability to change any of the details associated directly with the conference. In addition, if you wanted to delete a client from a conference, all you have to do is click on your conference and then select your client, and you can click on the delete button here and it will delete it. For this example, I don't want to delete the only client I have, so I'm not going to do it. But it does give you the ability to delete the clients out of conferences that are already scheduled. Okay. So that is the conclusion of our conference scheduling. If you have any questions, anyone that has a question, please use the raised hand feature in the webinar tool. We will take turns unmuting you to take your questions. Again, to verbally ask a question, you must have a headset with a microphone connected to your computer. If you called in, you must enter your audio PIN. If you do not have a PIN, we will not hear you. Thank you.
I don't see anyone with a raised hand right now. Someone's asking you to repeat the webinar. But it's going to be recorded, so please. Okay, I don't have any verbal questions. There's questions coming in that are going to be listed here, and we'll post those on the website.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.